Hello, in this lesson, we'll be covering three different methods for finding the GCF and LCM of 16, 20, and 24. So let's begin with 16. The first method we're going to focus on are factor trees. So 16 can be decomposed into 2 times 8, and then 8, 2 times 4, and then for 4, 2 times 2. Let's move on to number 20. So we have 2 times 10, and then 10, 2 times 5. And then for 24, we'll decompose into 2 times 12, and then 12, 2 times 6, and 6, 2 times 3. Let's circle what they have in common, all three numbers, okay? So 2 2s for 16, as well as 20 and 24. So they all share 2 2s that are being multiplied together. So that means that 2 times 2 equals 4, which is the greatest common factor for all three numbers. Now let's move on to the least common multiple. So with the least common multiple, what we're going to do here is take a look at the 2's. How many 2's are being multiplied together? 4. So what we're going to do here is write this in power notation, or what's known as exponential notation. So since we're multiplying 4 2's together, this is going to be written as 2 raised to the 4th power, or you could say 2 to the 4th power. Moving on to 20, well, we have 2 2's being multiplied together, so this is 2 squared times 5. And then for 24, we have 3 2's being multiplied together, so this is written as 2 cubed times the 3. Oops. So that's times 3. So now what you have to do here, and let me just go ahead and circle these here so we're not confused. You're going to take a look at the highest powered exponent, and you're going to take that out, okay? And that's part of your least common multiple. So in that case, that's 2 to the 4th power, right? Because we have 2 squared, then we have 2 cubed, but the highest powered exponent is 2 raised to the 4th power. So let's write that here. And then we have a 5 and a 3. So those are the numbers that are remaining. So we're going to bring those as well. And we're going to write this in ascending order, or least to greatest, okay? So we have 2 to the 4th times 3 times 5. And so when you multiply all of these numbers together, you have 240, which is the least common multiple for 16, 20, and 24. Now I'm going to wipe this out, and we're going to cover the second method, which is the ladder method. So we have 16, 20, and 24. I'm going to place an L around the three numbers here. And then we're going to divide these numbers by the smallest prime number as possible, which is 2. Okay, because 2 divides evenly into all three numbers at the same time. 2 goes into 16 8 times. 2 goes into 20 10 times. And 2 goes into 24 12 times. So as you can see, all of these numbers are still even, so we can divide by 2. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. So we have one number here that's prime, okay? However, as you can see, 16, 20, and 24 all share these 2 2's that are being multiplied together. So this is the greatest common factor, which is still 4. Now we have 4, 5, and 6, so we need to continue on because we need to find the least common multiple now of 16, 20, and 24. So I'm going to place an L around these three numbers. I'm going to bring down the 5 because is already prime. So we have 4 and 6, which are both even. So I'm going to divide by 2. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So as you can see, we have our greatest common factor of 4, but for our least common multiple, we need to multiply all of these digits here together. And when you do that, you get 240, which is the least common multiple. So as I said, the greatest common factor is 4, and the least common multiple is 240. All right, and last but not least, let's go over the method that contains a Venn diagram. I'm going to wipe this clean now. So let me draw the Venn diagram first. So we have the first one, second, and the third. Okay, and we're working with 16, 20, and 24. So what I'm going to do here is list these numbers into their prime factors. So we have 16, 20, and 24. So for 16, that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And that for 20, that's 2 times 2 times 5. For 24, that is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Okay, so now we're going to circle what they have in common. So right off the bat, I see that 16, 20, and 24 all share 2 times 2. 2 times 2. So since they all share 2 times 2, 2 times 2 is 4, I'm going to place a 4 right here. Okay, so because 16, 20, and 24 all share 4, and guess what? This is our greatest common factor. Okay, so if you have numbers in the center like this, that's your greatest common factor. Now let's move on so we can find the least common multiple. All right, and so we have a 2 being in a 2 here. So we have 16 and 24 sharing a 2. So we'll place the 2 right here. All right, now we have 16 that has a 2. We have 20 for 5. And then 24, we have 3. So all you have to do here is multiply all of these numbers together. All right, and so we'll just go ahead and verify that. So we have 2 times 5, which is 10. 2 times 4, which is 8. 10 times 8 is 80. And then 80 times 3 is 240, meaning that the greatest common factor, as stated, is 4, and the LCM is 240. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next lesson.